And we are back from the break, and Braxon has succeeded in putting out the fire below decks on the kobold ship. The poisonous cloud has been dispelled, and your crew has killed or incapacitated all of the enemies. Before we do anything else, I wanted to ask Lafdul, how many healing spells did Luar have? Because he would have been using those on crew that were already injured.
I will check. He doesn't actually take much else but healing spells, to be honest. Hang on. He has 3.
Okay.
He had
So,
Remove Fear and Idea. The other spells he had.
all right. And Ockar, you said Ingritha was going to be looking after the crew as well. Would she have used Lay on Hands
Yeah.
on one?
Yeah,
Okay.
and herbalism if it helps.
Yes, Herbalism? Yeah.
Yeah,
Can paladins do lay on hands with 1 hit point of damage to stop
Third
people
edition.
dying?
No, it's all or nothing.
Okay, cool.
All right. And I consider, because it's a once a day thing and it is all or nothing, I do consider it like generally superior to a healing spell when used for crew purposes. So that means that there are 2 crew left, 1 Herwady, 1 Gif, who may be dying. So who is going to be looking at them?
I can throw a cure light wounds on one.
All right.
I will also use magic to heal if possible.
Yeah, I have lots of magic as well, but I assumed our apprentices were going first.
Well, they did already.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
this
they?
is what's
Sorry.
after the
Yeah.
apprentices are done.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Lafdul's got
Do I
quite a
need
lot
to
of
roll?
healing spells.
Well, I wanted to see if anyone else wanted to do anything first. All right, so
I have Cure Critical, I have 2 Cure Serious, and
Cure Light
various
Wounds
others.
will keep them from dying.
Yeah.
Finn has 3 Cure Light he'll use if needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
just
Cure
want
Light
Cure Light.
Wounds from Ockar and Finn will prevent anyone from dying. Okay. So no casualties on your crew in that case. Okay.
I will cast a few cure light wounds on those that were most seriously injured.
All right.
Just that they recover faster.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you have succeeded in basically rendering the enemy vessel inoperative. What are you going to do now? Immediately after that, some of your party members have immediately gone to check on your injured crew. This is basically just moments later. So Braxon, go ahead.
Braxon's going to say, nobody go in that room. We need to secure all the documents. There may be a trap that causes a fireball or something.
The fire would have set the trap off.
Not necessarily.
Wow.
Depends on the trap.
Is there anything Braxon can get our crew to do to help the remnants of the gas clean out from those tunnels?
No. The Dispel Magic eliminated that.
All right, but you said there was like remnants of it. I know that was flavor. But it's basically all gone now.
Are you? Yeah, no, that dissipated. It's gone.
Okay. Braxton will have a look around the rest of the tunnel, see if he can find a helm, see if there's anyone on the helm.
So the tunnels are only in the wings. The rest of the ship is pretty standard design. Although it is like Darrakar needs to duck over and only the dwarves are at all comfortable. Well, the dwarves and Lankas are at all comfortable walking around. The dwarves and Lankas are the only ones who can actually walk into the tunnels in the wings. Everyone else would need to crawl or very crouch.
Braxton's going to ask the dwarves to search the wings in case there's anyone hiding in them.
Do you want to search other rooms as well?
Yeah, but like we'll get the dwarves to do the wings because they're small
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah, Braxton start going through the other rooms.
Okay. So
I'll,
getting the dwarves to do a general search.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
go to the
What's-
top deck to clear my lungs.
What is? I'm not going to be it because I'm helping saving lives at the moment. But what is the average height of the dwarves?
3.5 to 4 feet.
Yeah, so I'm still like a foot taller than them.
Oh yeah.
Braxton might just about fit in there because
I'm 4'11".
he's quite short.
I think Laura's
Braxton's-
actually tall for an elf.
Braxton's going to say to the gift, see if you can find the
50.
helm room.
Okay. So well, the dwarves are you got 30 of them.
Oh, they're doing all the searches.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
might as
yeah,
well just
cool.
have them do all the searching.
All right.
Doesn't
Sure.
you don't need you wouldn't even need that many to do it, but it's fine. All right.
Okay.
Um.
All right. Then we'll set Braxton to send the GIF and the Hawaii back to our ship to keep watch in case anything else comes in to attack us.
Okay.
I think
I
we
will-
should combine hilt and blade at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will do.
Yep. All right.
Probably worth refreshing
uh,
our air, considering we just fouled it with a stinking cloud. Or they did.
Yes, but also like the two ships were together, so there's a big overlap, and you're planning on going to a port soon as well. So
I think we'd be putting a prize
one-
crew on this.
one stinking
Yeah.
cloud spell is not enough to
foul the
completely
air.
foul your air.
I think we'd be putting a prize crew on this and taking it to the
Yeah,
Tinkerland
we should
port.
take it to the port.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dwarves begin searching, and they quickly do find that there are some gnomish prisoners aboard, including one that is in a strapped into a chair, which you would be able to understand is a life jammer.
Okay. Do we need to do healing
Oh, I
spells on him
didn't
before we
I
take
didn't
him
stab
off?
that captain enough.
Do we need to do Let's find out if we need to do healing spells on the guy on the life jammer before we take him off.
You can if you
But
want.
he-
He's
Remember-
not in great shape.
Remember before we took that creature off the life jammer on another
Wasn't
ship?
that a death
Like,
jammer?
Well, let's can somebody give this guy some healing before we take him off the
I'll
helm?
use lay on hands.
Okay. So that reinvigorates him, and you quickly unstrap him, and he does survive. He'll that will heal his wounds and everything like that, but he's still not in great physical or mental shape.
Yeah.
But he will be able to
Yeah.
tell you that he and some other gnomes that you do find in the cargo area, they were on a side wheeler that left the port of
It's not my job to name it.
It's not my job to name it. Yes.
Right.
They would estimate about a week ago, and this kobold ship did ambush them and succeeded in defeating them and taking a lot of them prisoner. And you would understand that they were being taken for life jammer victims.
Right.
They do not have any real information about what the kobold ship was doing here, but the fact that it did stay in the area does indicate like they would immediately suspect that it was spying on them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it was
Braxton. Sorry,
Good
go on.
decision to hunt them, and not just let them go.
Yeah, Braxton to say, "Don't worry, you're with the company and broke the sword now. We'll get you back. We'll get you back to your place. We're going to see if we can tow this ship in case the gnomes or someone else wants to use it for counter espionage on the pirates that have been attacking you.
Or
I
just
know the elves
protecting
would be
the place.
interested in it, but it's a common old ship.
Yeah, but people who are working against the gnomes will expect this ship to be on their side. So it might be tactically useful to have this ship, seeing as we've taken it reasonably intact. It might be tactically useful to hand it over to the gnomes.
I'm thinking the gnomes will use it to defend themselves.
They probably will, but like, take the Death Jammer off, put something else on. If
A
we can
gnomish
use,
helm.
if we can use magic to find out where this comes from, we could perhaps borrow this ship and fly to the base this ship comes from, and just take out the enemy base.
Yeah.
That is a very crude plan, but it's a plan.
Yeah.
So
It might not work, right? It's down to whether your spells can figure anything out, but it's, you know.
So, Braxon, give me a ship carpentry check, please.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can turn it.
How wrecked is our ship?
Not very. I don't think you took any hits.
No,
you
it
took
was
some.
critical hit.
We
You
took
took- yeah.
4 hit points.
4 hull points, yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't get rammed. All right, so Braxon, the ship will be just too large to tow it with the Battle Dolphin itself, so you will have to tow it with either the Flitter or the Hilt.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
can we just
seeing
fly it?
Seeing as we got,
You'd need to mount.
if you want to get on the,
yeah,
if you want to get on the life jammer,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, we
let's
could.
go on.
I mean, we could move the helm from Flitter.
we could do.
it would be
could do.
easier to just tow it. It would
Do
be
we
faster.
assume that all enemies are dead, none of them are prisoner?
Yeah.
Alright.
Certainly the captain is dead, the priest is dead, and it's unlikely that anyone else would really have any interesting information beyond that. And the orc guy, who is bigger than most orcs that you've seen before.
We'll get the dwarves to go get water for all the prisoners. And we're assured them that they've been rescued.
Okay. Probably bring them over to your ship, which would be just more comfortable in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will do, but like we'll give them a couple of sips of water first.
Yeah.
Before they come over.
Was he around my size?
Getting close to it. How tall are you?
Let me just double check that.
Uh,
Let me see. 7'7".
Yeah, he was close to it. Not quite,
Okay.
but pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty tall.
But was he as beefy as Darrakar?
No. Still, quite muscular, but not quite Darrakar's level.
Not beefy as Minotaur.
No.
Yeah, Braxton's going to give some orders for people to move around and double bunk so that we can give the rescued gnome somewhere to lie down.
Okay. Well, you're only like at this point, you're only like an hour away from. It's not my job to name it, and that's mostly just because of the density of the asteroid field.
Yeah. I didn't know if any of them were like serious ill, but we'll get someone to put some food on as well.
Yeah, they're just undernourished at this point.
Okay.
Solas will go and cast mending on the ship damage.
All right,
I
Lafdul,
do
you
have
were
a
saying?
shape word.
What?
Hold on,
I do have a shape word anyway.
Lafdul was saying that he was going to do something.
Yeah, I am going to do something. But I was just chiming into what he said as well. I do have a shape word as well. I am going to, because the nature of what the ship was, I suspect it's more of the same that we saw earlier in this sphere. I'm going to write a report on it as best I can.
Okay.
With whatever information I can. Interview the gnomes while I can.
Yeah.
Finn will actually take over the kitchen tonight.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, by tonight you mean like right now?
Yep.
Okay. Because again,
Um,
you're only like an hour away from the port.
I guess Solas and Lafdul. We need all those papers. I don't know if there's any traps in that room that might try and destroy the papers when you go in there. Can you make your best efforts to get everything out? We want the logbooks, everything.
I will check with find traps the room.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm writing a report, so just let Solas do it.
All right.
Okay.
You're
Solas,
not writing it at
you
the end.
are not detecting a trap in that room.
I will also cast detect magic to see if there's anything magical.
Okay. So in that room, you do see. Let's see.
Someone have a spell that can de-age books by hundreds of years.
Ben.
All right. So there is a medium-sized triangular shield decorated with a golden griffin rampant on a field of lavender that is on the wall in that room that the orc was occupying.
Okay.
And that symbol looks vaguely familiar to you, Solas. You're pretty sure you've
Okay.
seen it before.
Can
Back
I
into
roll
your space,
heraldry
but
on
you
it?
okay? Go ahead and roll heraldry then.
That's a success.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know a whole lot about it, but it's definitely a symbol of a some minor prints from back into your space, back from your tier itself.
Okay.
It's
Ooh.
pretty old though.
Yeah.
In addition, there is a large spherical compass-like object of brass and glass in that room. There's a small black arrow floating in the center of this glass sphere. And Braxon, you would recognize that as a device at the Arcane Cell. It's a portal locator.
Nice.
Oh, that's a nice addition for our ship.
Well, your
Braxon,
Rhaegar
Assuming
device
it
does
wasn't-
that, actually.
But doesn't it require diamonds to do it, or does it do it without the diamonds?
The portal locating part is just built in. That's not.
Okay, then it's just for selling.
Or if we get other ships.
Yeah, you could put it on the
True.
hilt.
put it on hilt.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Since Braxon knows that Arcane sells them, does Braxon know roughly how valuable they are?
The Arcane will sometimes throw that and other devices like that in when you buy a ship. They don't always, but like it is something that you can bargain them into.
Okay.
He has not looked at the prices for individual ones, but that does tell you that you're like it's not ship priced.
Extremely valuable.
The corpse of that orc does have some magic on him. You'd have to search his corpse though.
Okay.
Well, I'll point
Right.
out the magic, and after that I will go check the other officers.
Braxon wants to have a look at the orc officer to see if he looks like the orc that was on that other ship. That was with
Red Newell.
Ockar's Red Nord.
Argok. I mean,
Yeah.
an
One
orc is an
orc to
orc
another
to
orc.
you for the most part.
Yeah, what I mean is
He's about
Well,
the
I
same
suppose
height
it's-
though. He's about the same height.
about the same height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Braxton can't tell orcs from different places how they look,
Right.
sort of thing. Okay, fair enough.
Do you search the corpse?
If we've got the books out, that my priority was to get the books out before any magic. That that's why I didn't want to touch anything. just get all the books and the papers out of that room and
Well,
onto our
there's
ship.
I didn't detect any traps there.
We're taking all the papers first,
All right.
so
well,
that if anything goes
it's
bang,
they're
we'll come
very
back.
heavily burned. So
Yeah.
like anything that you move before looking at is going to be
Okay.
further damaged.
All right. Well, then we won't move any of that stuff. We'll see whether Finn can do anything tomorrow.
The
with
point
his
is
magic.
is that you can just like search the corpse and find out what is detecting as magic.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. So he has a scroll on him,
Okay.
and that is what Solas was detecting as magical. Solas goes to take a quick look before his spell expires of the other kobold officers and crew. Correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. The captain and the one in plate armor also have some magic on them. You'll have to search their corpses.
Yeah, I will point out.
Is the
point out
kobold plate
the rest of the-
magical?
The plate is not magic.
Ah,
I will point out the magic, magic and where it's coming from the corpses to the rest of the crew party, and then go cast the mending spells to fix our ship.
I like how you're just like completely ignoring the burnt papers. Like, yeah, it's just burnt papers. Who cares about those? Books, papers.
I'm planning on about looking at
I'm
them, but
teasing you.
I want to look them while I can focus.
I'm teasing you. All right. Does anyone want to search the corpses then?
I'll
Yeah, I guess that's
work
good.
on searching them.
All right,
Yeah.
Darrakar. So on the captain, you find a clay jar filled with a thick, gritty black liquid.
Okay.
And on the plate armor wearing one, you find a scroll and a pouch of 9 lead sling bullets inscribed with small runes.
Well, something to identify.
Okay. So you're going to go ahead and cast Mending on the ship.
Yeah, I have 2 memorized.
Okay, go ahead and you can cast both of them.
Yeah, I'm 11th level, so I think there's the chance that I get the.
Yeah, only roll it
fix more
once
than just
because
Yeah,
one of those hits was only for 1 whole point. So it doesn't
it
matter.
was D100 that I rolled.
Yep.
Forgot that. Nope.
All right, so 2 whole points get restored to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for free with no wood?
Correct.
Yes.
mending is always free. Shape would cost wood.
Well, it's not completely free. I have to use spell
It's free in
components.
terms of lumber that you have for repairs.
Mm.
That's what he means. Okay.
Anything on the kobold captain?
That was the clay jar filled with thick, gritty black liquid.
Oh, okay. I thought that was also the orc.
No, sorry.
Now the orc only had a scroll.
Okay,
I
so
will cast
who wants to
ship
go
wood.
look at those papers?
Once we are moving, Solas will take time to look at them.
I will look at them
it's-
as
Hold on. It's gonna take time to organize everything. You got plenty of
Okay.
time to look at these things.
Then,
Like it's
then
probably
then I
going to
will
be an hour
look-
to get everything set up, and if you're going to be towing
the-
this rather than sitting on the life jammer, then that takes
Yeah.
even more time.
Then I will take a look at them once I've dealt with the immediate damage mitigation.
So I have a question which Finn might answer, or you might need to answer. Are any of those papers in a state where Finn could rescue them, but if other people touch them, they would disintegrate?
Does Finn have any spells like that?
I thought somebody had.
I could take a youthful object tomorrow.
Yeah, because The,
would
the,
it?
the, re- the,
Would it?
the, the,
Let,
Yeah,
let Braxon
sorry.
ask.
the specific reason I'm asking is if we wait a day and Finn has the ability to rescue something that is destroyed, we get it back. Whereas if we go picking stuff up and the bits move around, and that stops Finn from doing whatever he does, which I don't understand because I've not looked at his character sheet, then we lose the opportunity to do that. So if Finn can do that stuff, I would prefer to wait until Finn has a chance to assess things.
I have a question. Will the spell repair fire damage?
That I don't think it will.
That's
Don't
the
you have a
reverse of
s-
age object.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, it only restores things that are damaged by time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have any spells that can bring back what was burned.
So normal rusting, weathering, that kind of thing, that can be restored.
Okay, fair enough.
So does anyone else, let me put it this way, does anyone else have any magic that they think might be useful on these burnt papers?
Would
I have
mending
to read.
reverse it?
No.
No, I would have to have the pieces that was broken off.
Yeah.
I have the the no language or whatever the spell was memorized.
Okay.
One casting comprehend languages.
Okay. So in that case, your best bet is to just look through what remains and see what you can glean from whatever didn't completely burn.
Yeah, and I will.
I could cast Improve Phantasmal Force to make it look nicer.
Yeah.
It would
Who's
even
got-
feel nicer and smell nicer.
I will also use the lenses of speed reading so that I can basically, when I'm looking through them, I can see what it is faster during the spell duration.
Okay.
I got a thought. Who's got the spell where they can look at things in the past? Can we get someone to look at these burnt things when they were
No.
being written?
No. You'd have to know when they were being written, and you'd have to know when they
Okay.
were read, like if you wanted to like read over the guy's shoulder. No, it's not going to work for something like that.
Yeah, it's too.
Okay.
Only thing I can think that what we could look is when the orc set them on fire if he was looking at them before that.
Okay, so give me an intelligence check at half your score, please, Solas.
Okay. That's a success.
Okay. So you're able to piece together a little bit about that. These kobolds have been promised rewards for doing something. You think it might be scouting. You're seeing some elements related to that. And perhaps ascertaining fleet strengths, possibly.
Okay.
The rewards are promised to the kobolds are much riches and many gnome skulls. Also some sort of honors, but you can't decipher what those might be. There is a reference to tier space, but in what manner you can't tell, whether that is past or present or future. There is obviously a reference to gray space. And you can make out a symbol that you don't know what significance it holds, but it holds some sort of significance. It might be a sigil, like a wizard sigil, or it might be a seal of authorization or something like that, of two green eyes.
Two green eyes.
Yeah, that's the best that you can glean from that.
I will copy the symbol in my notes,
Okay.
and I will tell rest of the group what was in the notes, and say that the mention of tier space also worries me.
Yeah, so this was about espionage.
Yes.
That's dangerous.
Well, it's more of the same. It seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Hmm.
But
I-
yeah,
I
I
will-
will. I will
The lore never
also
changes.
copy as much as of the text I could understand, write it, and prepare
writing
it
a
so that we can give copy of it to the 11 Imperial Navy.
Okay.
Okay.
I would have done this with you, Solas,
Yeah,
if you were doing that, and I could just write the report, act as your scribe, as it were.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
In part because as you are reading those remnants, like some of them are like some of the words are still visible through the burnt pieces, but as you're reading them and handling them, they disintegrate.
Yeah,
so,
I'm handling them with extreme care with my tools like tweezers and.
Right, but that's like what I mean is because of that you won't be able to get exact copies. What you can do is just summarize what you learned, with the caveat that you could be wrong on suppositions that you're making.
Yeah, I did cast comprehend languages so that I could understand.
That does
what
not
they
tell
are
you what language they're written in, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
But it is most likely language that kobolds understand.
Koboldish, Orcish. I mean, it was the Orc as well.
So
Yeah, but
the dwarves also will report to you, Braxon, that they have found in what they suspect is the captain's quarters, the ship's pay, and they also hand over, some coinage that they found in crew quarters and stuff like that.
And we would most likely go through the bodies.
All right.
Yeah.
Their ship's pay goes into the prize fund then.
Okay, ready to take that down?
Finn?
Question, though.
Hold
on. Say again.
Finn, are you ready to take down the ship's pay that you recovered?
Yep.
Okay. So there are 3,137 copper pieces.
3,137, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
1,532 silver pieces.
Okay.
367 electrum pieces.
Okay.
And 434 gold pieces.
Okay.
As well as some gems, and I will give you the descriptions. I'll paste them into you in a moment. But a striated opaque blue stone, a pale milky blue striated stone, a polished orange-red stone with circular patterns, a brick red polished stone, a deep blue polished stone, a banded white and red stone, transparent dark brown faceted stone, a deep pinkish red transparent faceted stone, and a polished pink stone with six-pointed asterism. I'll post that in as well as the descriptions of the other items. Give me just a second. Well, first of all, Lafdul had a question, I think.
I was going to indicate if any of this was the Gnomish treasure, if because their ship was looted and taken, or something.
Yes, there is, however, like rights to salvage. Keep in mind. If you want to, like none of the gnomes that you saved were officers on the ship. The one who was on the helm was a gnomish warrior, but he was one of the, like, Marines. Most of the rest were just sailors, workmen, things of that nature. So none of them have any idea how much was actually on board the ship. So it's up to you if you want to hand some money over to them and how much you want to do. So, what do you guys think?
Solas is okay with handing some of the money to them, but Solas is also giving his share of this money that we got to the company. But like Old said, we also do have the right to claim all of the money.
Well, if the ship was taken from the gnomes,
yeah, but
we can go to the gnomes and they'll no doubt give us a reward.
There's no officers and such who knew how much of the money is gnomes and how much is not.
Ah, okay. All right.
Just ask them what their rate is and just pay off their rate for however long their journey was.
Well,
we'll take fair pay.
We'll take them. We'll take them back we'll take them back to the gnomish pool. And so we're going to need to split our crew into a prize crew to tow this to the gnomish pool with the hilt, and then the blade will go in separately.
Do you want to vote on whether you give any of the money over to the gnomes, the rescued gnomes? Like, if everyone wants to give some over, then you can then figure out how much you want to give over.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to give them some, at least according to Lankas.
I mean, let's do a vote. Braxon?
I don't mind giving them some of the money back.
So that's a yes. Darrakar?
Hey, let me look here.
Right now it's just yes or no. You can figure out an amount.
Yes.
Okay. Solas?
Solas?
I'm fine with either option, so I'm abstaining.
Lankas?
Yeah, I'll give him some.
Alright, Ockar?
I'm good with either option, so I'm abstaining as well.
Alright, Finn?
Finn's abstaining as well.
Alright, Lafdul?
Yeah, I'd give them some.
Okay. I like how the two lawful good people are like, it doesn't matter to me.
I mean, we're within our rights to do either way.
I know,
so...
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It just amuses me. Alright, so Braxon as captain, is there an amount that feels reasonable?
I would have a suggestion.
Yeah, I was going to say we ask how much time they spent on the ship, because that would determine their pay.
All right, Lafdul, you had a suggestion?
Yeah, no, it was. I was thinking about giving them like a half cut of whatever our crew would, but we don't know how long they were going for.
They were captured about 2 weeks ago, give or take.
Wow.
So they've been on the voyage for 2 weeks since they left the port and were captured.
Give them a month.
I think crew normally get 2 months up front, and then they get paid every month after that or something.
I mean, you could also just be like, here, have X amount. Like,
yeah, I think like 5% would be fine. 5 or 10%.
Finn, as the bookkeeper, is there an amount that would be easy for you?
Something that's an even amount would be fine.
Then let's go for like 10%. 10%.
Percents are not easy.
No.
All right.
Then-
How
What's the
many
need?
gnomes
Yeah,
were
he
there?
10% isn't that hard. It's just
uh,
dropping. It's just dropping a decimal.
Right, but it's also like when he says it in even amount, he means like 10 gold pieces, 100 gold pieces, 1,000 gold pieces, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it, Finn?
He's types it in the
I posted
group
it.
chat.
He's already
Okay.
split it.
Yeah, so just give like, I would say do another crew share. A crew bonus. And I can't redivide that easily.
Do remember that the crew bonus is split to the size of our crew. That's not for individual crew member.
How many did we save?
There were a total of
What if
15.
we give? Okay, this might make it easy. What if we give the money that Solas said he didn't want to take to the gnomes? Would that work?
I did specifically say that I'm donating it to the company.
I know, but Finn wants an easy number. What do you think, Finn?
He wouldn't have to do anything. It would just be a case of
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
but Solas writes down the new amount, and the rest of that then goes to, and then Solas's share just goes to the gnomes.
What do
I'm
you
fine
think,
with
Finn?
that.
That would work for me.
yeah,
Okay.
it's easy enough.
We'll do that then.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you want to do before you finish up and tow the ship in?
Well, I was going to look through the gnomes to see if any were officers, but you've already said they're not officers.
Yeah.
Braxon
They
will
would tell you that the officers who survived the attack were interrogated and killed.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
And we don't find any bodies on the ship, so they've thrown them overboard or eaten them or something.
Kobolds don't eat gnome bodies.
They would have been thrown overboard.
Okay. Was their ship abandoned anywhere, or has it been destroyed? Do we need to go rescue anyone?
No. You do not need to go rescue anyone because everyone who survived was taken prisoner because they were going to be used as life jammer fuel.
Yeah.
So there's no one to
Okay.
rescue.
And their ship isn't floating around.
Who knows
anywhere,
where it is? Like,
Okay.
it would be impossible to find at this point.
Okay, fair enough.
Even
All right.
if it's still intact.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make double sure that we don't need to go off and rescue anyone. All right. Then I guess it's a matter of creating a prize crew.
You're only an
getting
hour
ropes.
away, so you don't need to actually
Ropes.
figure out the numbers.
Okay, yeah.
As long as you
But
like,
we-
do you want to tow it with the hilt?
We'll tow it with a hilt because it
Okay.
means we don't have to make someone else be a helmsman for
Okay.
the day. And we'll have some crew on there to help with steering.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we'll have the rest of the people back on the blade.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen in 1 hour getting into the gnomish port.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's fine.
I'd be on that ship writing a report, looking around on what I can of it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have the blade go upper front. And Braxon's going to be signaling towards the gnomish port. When we get there, saying urgent, we have rescued gnomes.
It's a
we
trap.
We've rescued gnomes from a pirate ship. We're bringing in a pirate ship. We wish to speak to the local military urgently.
Okay, so it takes you about an hour to navigate through the rest of the asteroid to get to the gnomish port. You could see it in the distance, very vaguely, just because like there are lights and everything. But as you close in, you can get a better look at the port itself. It consists of 7 small asteroids that have been all connected in kind of a hexagonal shape, with one at the center, with girders and stuff like that. So the and the girders are built up with buildings and everything of their own. So that's where the dock facilities are located as well. As you close in, you do signal, and you are directed on where to put in. Having signaled that you have rescued gnomes, a gnomish medical team greets you to take care of them, bring them aboard, and everything like that, and take care of their injuries and get them more food and everything like that. You are thanked profusely. And in addition, after all the normal procedures are done, they do waive your docking fees, but a gnome and a gif in charge of port security come to ask for your details and get any information that you can provide about it. The gnome has very esoteric questions, while the GIF has very precise and specific combat questions about the strength, who they were, all these things. It's definitely the GIF who's asking you good, relevant questions.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, Solas would
hold on. Braxon's the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was about to say something.
And he was about to say something.
Next. You can go next. Braxon's going to say to the GIF, I'm going to see if my spellcasters can use spells on this ship so that we can work out where it's from. And if that works, we can perhaps leave our ship here and use this ship to go to the base they're using to attack your port here and launch an attack on their base. So, I don't know if that's going to work yet.
You would have had that conversation before getting into port.
Yeah.
And
all right.
So let me put it to the spellcasters. Does anyone have a spell that they think would be useful in that regard?
Not really.
What about that thing where you can look back in time?
I think most useful spell would be Speak with Death and Speaking with the Orc.
Yeah, there's that. But what about the spells where you can look back at time to when they left their home port or something?
I think Finn stepped away, and you need to know when that was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need to know when?
Yeah.
Did we manage to recover the logbook?
I already gave you every information, every piece of information you were able to learn from the papers.
Here's a way of phrasing it. If you say you need a specific date, or can you look for a specific event?
All right. Well,
I'll look up the spell while you guys are talking about other things.
If I was thinking about that shield and said it comes from tier space, there's notes of tier space, so they have. I'm just trying to think of something about when they acquired the shield. Something along that lines. That'll be our line of inquiries of how we would want to look for a question for Finn.
Well, the
shield
is quite old.
Yeah, it's a trophy by looks of it. I mean, how the orc had it.
Well, it was in the navigation quarters.
Can I just get back on this briefly? And I know Solas also wanted to ask something before we start talking about shields and stuff. What Braxon wanted is for the gnomes to camouflage the ship so that if there's any observers, they don't see that it's here, if they can. And if we're not able to work out where it comes from, then we'll probably just give it to them to take apart and do what they want with it.
Real fast. So you need to know a specific event. So that's why that's why I had time in mind. You can't look at when the last time it left port per se, because that's not specific enough.
Yeah.
When did this orc acquire the shield?
You would need to know
Was
that it
that-
left a port on a certain date to be able to do that kind of thing.
Mm.
If it's like, if you could see the attack on the gnomes, for example, because
Yeah.
you could say, when were these particular 15 gnomes attacked by these particular kobolds? That is a close enough analysis of the event that you can get. But in general, just like casting a net and trawling for the last time they left a port, that's basically not gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah, and
All right. Fair enough.
I don't think Solas has any spells that would help in that regard.
All right,
All
Lafdul,
right,
how about
fair
you?
enough.
Well, my thought captures might get something, but it's going to be more needles in the haystack. I mean, I might get something, I might not.
Yeah, they
Speak
might
with Dead
work.
Speak with Dead might work best.
Well, yeah, speak with dead probably would
Yeah.
work, but
And there's a lot of kobolds on there.
I'm thinking it's best to ask the officers if anything.
It is, yeah, but the normal fighters might have a lower saving throw.
Yeah, but they might not know where their base is exactly.
Crew never know anything worthwhile in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
this is not a situation where you can go through all. Hold on, let me see. Let's see.
Fair enough.
73 individuals on that ship to
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
where something like that.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me it's not like the D&D movie where we can just have a
I don't know. I haven't
montage
seen
where
the D&D movie.
You haven't? Oh,
No.
okay. We can't just do an entire session of Speak with Dead.
I mean,
We need to get-
what
we
I'm
need to
saying
get-
what I'm saying is that yes, you could, and I would say, all right, Lafdul, you spend all of your time speaking with dead on the sailors.
why is it always
now
me?
all of the because you're the only one. Aren't you the only one who has that spell?
No,
Yes.
Solas and Finn can cast
Oh,
it. It's
all
not
right.
just me.
All right,
It's
my mistake.
divination.
Okay, let me rephrase then. Okay, all of the party members who can cast the spell waste all of their time speaking with dead to the sailors, in which you get no useful information. That is how I would handle it. Because they're sailors. They don't know anything.
Are you telling me you wouldn't do 73 different voices?
No. I value my
Okay.
personal time too much for that.
Fair enough.
Also, if there was a session like that, I don't know if I would show up for it.
I would certainly not be there.
So yes,
But
the
yeah,
point
what's
is
the
is
last-
that
Sounds like fun.
when of course, the spells like that are really only useful on unique individuals.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the thing was, what Solas was going to say was that Solas would tell the information he gleaned out of the notes that this ship was here to spy on them, and that they were promised with many gnome skulls and glory. So they specifically were thinking on attacking this place at some point.
Okay. Now, like, you would also be able to conclude that this is not something that just the one ship would have been able to do. So
Yeah, that it would be more than just one ship that comes to attack.
All right. So they take all that down, and it sounds like no one has any other spells that might be useful in that regard. I guess the question would then be, does anyone want to try Speak with Dead? Obviously, wait for another day.
Yeah, I probably cast one on the orc. Maybe on the captain.
Okay.
Perhaps on the cleric.
So the following
Yeah.
day, right? Because you need to memorize them.
Yeah, I've got none memorized. Actually, I might have one on my statue. Icon, I mean. I'm going to check. Stored spells I have on it. I thought that was a clever way of getting around the not having Speak with Dead ready, but if you put on a icon, you can have it ready whenever you want. Well, if you have... No, I don't have it on there.
Okay.
It's a shame. Well, I need 3 of them.
Yeah, you're
But yeah.
clever after the fact.
Yeah, well, I've got like neutralize poison and stuff on them, which is useful in cure disease and remove curses, etc.
Finn, are you back? So you type. I wasn't sure if you were back in voice chat. Sounds
Yeah,
like
Solas has,
no. Okay. Go ahead,
Solas
Solas.
has reservations on disturbing the spirits of the dead. It's not categorical no, but it would have to be extremely important and something to really do with Solas and his faith.
Okay.
That he
Is
would
that
cast her Speak
Ogma's
with Death.
stipulation or is that a Solas stipulation?
That's a Solas thing. That's
It's
not.
Solas. It's his personal belief that he does not want to disturb the dead.
Okay, Finn. Do you have any spells that you think that might be useful here to gain some information?
Well, if we could narrow down a time, then I could cast a time pool.
Anyone have any ideas on how to do that?
Asking the dead spirits.
No.
Yeah, if
Can-
you ask the dead spirits and whatever I get on my full captures, if anything, that might give us a hint or a line of inquiry.
Yeah, the dead might be able to give the time.
Can Braxon examine the ship to see if he can find out if it looks like it was repaired, like how the wood is or something?
Yep, ship's carpentry check.
I have
It's
a
a long
question to
job.
Solas.
Oh, that's a failure.
No, yeah. Nothing that you can determine that way.
Okay.
Regarding the Elven Imperial Navy, we know Lenalius. You can speak with Lenalius. Well, at least give him a very limited message.
Do they want this ship?
Well, I mean, first it'd be you've got to condense this down incredibly into such a meaningful way. You
Only if I want to reply back.
yeah.
I can communicate with Lanelius.
I'm just trying to think
in
how
long
to...
form. Long form, if I don't want to reply back.
Oh, you mean the dream spell?
All right. So what are you trying to ask, Lafdul?
Oh, I was trying to get a hint from him to see what kind of questions to ask, or at least because he's more in the know of what kind of information the Elven Imperial Navy would want.
You're not going to get anything out of 25 words. That's
yeah.
That you guys.
Do
can't
we
think
know?
of already.
Yeah. It'd just be the start of things. Where are you operating from? How many are you in here? You know, the useful stuff.
How long ago you left the port? Since if we get the time, Finn can then use the time pool, I think.
Does this ship have a name on it?
No.
Okay.
I think they don't want to have any identification if they have painted their ship completely black and
Goblinoids don't often put names on their ships. That's very much
Yeah.
a primarily a human thing, and some demi-humans.
Okay. So a message we could send if somebody wants to send a message could be something to Lenalius, could be something along the lines of, we have captured...
I'm gonna say we have a corpse for you.
I'm
I haven't finished my sentence.
Go ahead and Braxon.
We
Finish up.
we could send a message along the lines of, "We've captured a kobold pirate ship. Have captured kobold pirate ship with orc on board. Do you want to assist in locating home base?"
So, you know that Linnaeus is on a very specific mission.
Okay, fair enough.
And I will say this about the sending in that regard. Like, if you learned that the elves were imminently about to be attacked, sending is a great idea. Like the elves in general. If you knew something relevant to Linnaeus's mission, sending is a great idea. Otherwise, just a normal message paid to a normal messenger will probably suffice.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's best to leave the ship here if there's plans on attack to this port. I think they want to have as many ships as possible to defend themselves.
And the gnome, the elves don't have a claim on this ship at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know.
Can we send him a corpse by courier?
It would not last.
You could technically, but it would not be a corpse any longer by the time it gets to him.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do Speak with Dead, like if there's Speak with Dead, then it's up to you guys to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So were you going to be gifting the ship to the gnomes? Or are you selling it as scrap?
I mean, we don't want an old ship.
Let's
like
sell it
this,
as a
do we?
scrap.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Since we need to also gain some money to pay our crew.
I know we do, but could we find out if it will be at all possible to, like, if we can't find out where the base is, fine. But what I was thinking is,
well, hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish.
What I'm thinking is, if the long shot, like Finn said, if we can work out, if we can infer how long ago he might be able to use a time pool, right? At the moment, we can't get that information. So tomorrow, maybe people try spells, and we've got no way to work out where this angel ship came from. But if we can work out where the angel ship came from, and we can get the gnomes to hang on to the ship and hide it, maybe put tarpaulins over it, we could then pretend to be the pirates and go to the pirate base and take out the pirate base, right?
I get that idea, but
So,
I'm not sure how feasible it is.
Hang on. So at this point, the ship is strategically useful, right? If we sell it as scrap and it gets taken apart, it stops being strategically useful. If we try the spells and the spells fail and the plan is not viable, then we can't do anything with the ship. So at that point, we can sell it for scrap, right? What I was asking is for them to hold on to this for the military purposes of us dealing with the pirates that are attacking them for the time being, while we can evaluate. Does that make sense?
So you'd have to pay for docking of it then.
They would charge us for
Because it would be counted as our ship.
Yeah.
I know.
And it would be taking up a berth, it would be taking up some space. It would have to be charged for long-term docking.
Yeah, I know. Well, like, wasn't it just a day to see whether we could work out?
Oh, I mean, like, the day is fine. I was thinking more along the lines of longer term. If you want to wait until you cast the Speak with Dead, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if there's any other way to work this out, because most of the things I've said, people have said it's a dead end. But Finn seems to be our hope for doing this, but only if we can give him an estimate.
Okay.
Of...
So then we'll table that and address some other things. So, Lafdul, you're gonna get some rest and get those spells for the next day.
Yeah, I'd have free speak with deads and a whole bunch of thought captures. I think Loire would have some as well,
Okay.
considering he has access to the spells.
You could probably pretty easily conclude that you're not going to get anything out of thought capture. You
You say that?
I do say that.
Alright.
So number one, you generally need a situation of high emotion to get worthwhile thought captures. That is gonna, like, a high emotion that's gonna override the general long-term habited, like, this ship has probably been in use for years at least. It's hard to say when it was built.
The
Braxon can easily tell that this is not a brand new ship.
Yeah.
Whether it's 10 years old, 5 years old, 100 years old, 1,000 years old, that he can't tell. But so you need something of like high emotion to override the general baseline thoughts that are just going to be filled this place. The other thing is like a place that is almost no one has ever been, like few people have been to or no one's been to in a really long time, and those high emotion thoughts are still there while all of the other thoughts have dissipated. That's another place that thought capture is going to be useful. But just every, like, this ship would be like a common street corner. You'd just be barraged by random thoughts that have no meaning.
And not to mention kobolds speaking or thinking kobold.
That's a good point,
Braxton can lend you his ring.
Also,
but you don't have a kobold near you, so it wouldn't work.
Also, I would think that the fight would have been quite
charged.
Emotionally charged.
Yeah. Like thought capture. Thought capture is something that is useful in like old places, or like, when you found that derelict ship and you wanted to get an idea of who, I mean, not derelict, but the attacked ship back in Kryn space, and you wanted to get an idea of who attacked it. Perfect use. This, imperfect use.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm quite happy if it's a dead end.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
talking about the thought capture for Lafdul.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm trying to get at is that you need to kind of like analyze a situation. Is this someplace where thought capture is actually going to be useful, rather than just every single place that you come across casting thought capture?
No,
and I would think that Lafdul has cast the spells enough times that he would be able to estimate that quite accurately.
Lafdul, question about the thought capture. Would you be able to work out when the weapons were installed? Because they'd be more likely to be installed at a base.
No.
Okay.
Lankas did bring up the torture, and that is some thoughts that you could get. The feelings of gnomish pain.
Yeah, I'm not sure how useful that will be.
Yeah.
And most likely kobold glee about it.
Yeah.
The point being is that like,
you could view the instant of when this is slightly off topic. The Finn's spell about when the gnomes were interrogated.
But like, all you're gonna get is the information that the gnomes give them.
Yeah.
And
do you see what kind of questions?
Chances are you can get from the gnomes here who are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have that spell that gets your deity to give you a hint that if you've forgotten something? I forgot what it's called.
Idea.
Idea.
Actually has that memorized, but Lafdul doesn't.
I have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
You're going to speak with dead. Why not just ask them when they set sail from their port or from their base?
That's very good.
I assumed that was what was going to be asked.
Yeah, I did. I did suggest that we would use the speak with Dere specifically for that.
We
Okay.
should put Finn in charge.
We just
So-
get Finn to cast the spell then.
Before
been
you
Flailing about
before
trying to
you
figure out what to do.
before you speak with Dad. So like the one thing that I will note is like there isn't you may have a question of can we figure out where this ship left port. There isn't always going to be a solution that you have available to you. Speak with Dad.
Oh, I know.
Speak with Dad, and hasn't been attempted yet for reasons that we'll get to. But it, the other possibilities have been pretty systematically knocked down. So I wouldn't at that point. Why worry about it? Anyway, so it's going to take some time for Lafdul to get those spells. So you guys do have some free time in the port. Lankas, you wanted to come here for a very specific reason.
Yes.
Okay, so while everyone else is getting prepared for the Speak with Dead and other things, anything else that they might want to do, you can start going around the port, seeing if you can get some information.
I'll start questioning the locals.
Okay. All right. So you quickly learn that it's not my job to name it. Has a variety of areas of study. Each of the asteroids is dedicated to a different one. So one of them is dedicated to biology, one of them is dedicated to thermodynamics, one of them to mechanical engineering, one of them to optics, one of them to shipbuilding, one of them to metallurgy, and one of them to advanced rapid deconstruction. So you begin asking around, looking to see if anyone met with your grandfather, since you do know that he was here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was researching mathematics and mechanical engineering, or at the Mathematics and Mechanical Engineering Guild. So I'd look for something similar to that.
Yeah. So there is a mechanical engineering guild here. So you want to start there?
Yep.
Okay. So you head over to that asteroid. This whole port is give or take a mile across. It's hexagonal shaped with these big built-out girders that have tons and tons of gnomish housing and storage and port facilities and everything like that. And you make your way over there and start asking around. As you do so, you do hear as you're walking between the buildings and everything like that, you do hear a high-pitched scream from a gnome. You have to throw yourself down as a strange cylindrical object comes screaming over your head with a gnome riding it. And it disappears down, basically the road. And there's a boom that shakes the local area, and smoke goes up in the air, and one of the other gnomes nearby just looks at it, shakes his head, looks at you, and says solemnly, "Thermodynamics." And you instantly know that analogy. It hits you right there.
My reflexes are getting a bit sloppy. I haven't been around gnomes for long
That's
enough
true. That's true.
recently.
That's true. But you do recognize that Advanced Rapid Deconstruction Guild is going to get some work out of whatever that gnome was working on. But asking around, you do finally learn that your grandfather was there some months back for research, both in the Mechanical Engineering Guild and the Metallurgy Guild. And he commissioned a ship to take supplies to another sphere. And that ship is not yet returned. So
Okay.
you can basically ask them to get that information when that ship returns.
Yeah.
Or you can ask around, see if you can find someone who knows where they may have gone.
Yeah. So he took a ship full of supplies to another sphere.
Yeah. And it was tools, metal plating, rivets, things of that nature. So something to build something big out of metal.
Yep. Yeah, if I'm gonna look around, I'm gonna try and figure out what sphere he went to.
Okay. Give me a charisma check, please.
Charisma. Oh, right. You just roll and try and get lower.
Yep.
Yep. Score is
Okay.
10, so...
All right. With a little bit of palm greasing, so that'll take you 2 gold pieces. It'll
Okay.
cost you 2 gold pieces. You do manage to grease the palm of a gnomish administrator to look up the some ship records, and that those materials were sent to tier space. Where in tier space you don't know. That wasn't recorded. But the gnomish captain did ask around to see if there was anyone else who needed things sent to tier space.
While he's looking it up, can I ask him... I want to ask him what the name of the ship was.
Yes. So he says, I don't know.
Is that what it's called, or do you not know?
That's what it's called. Yes.
Yep, I know. It's just a clear... Okay. I thought so. I know gnomes.
And it was a side wheeler. So not a Death Glory or something like that.
Okay.
I don't have them right now, but you get some known gnomish ports in tier space that you could check. Now your grandfather did not accompany that ship; he basically commissioned it.
Okay.
And he did pay with an ingot of mithril.
That's quite the expensive payment.
Yeah, I'm
That
kind of
is-
curious where he got it.
It was, I mean, it was a lot of supplies, and yes, quite a valuable payment.
Mm-hmm.
Mithril is very rare.
Yeah, my thought is, where did he get an ingot of mithril?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that looks like that'll be about the best that you can get from here. You can, if you want to like pay out about 100 gold pieces, like to various people. You can basically get like when the ship comes back, send some information on to Brawl.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll pay some people around to pass on information when, if that ship gets back. Yeah, if and when that ship gets back. Otherwise, we're gonna have to look at tier space.
Okay.
But I'll pay up.
And you don't know, like, you haven't met her yet, but the woman back on Brawl who runs the company's office there is sent. She knows some wizards, and she can get, like, if you have Braxon sign it or something like that, or have Solas alert her, she can pay a wizard to do a sending to Braxon or Solas or something like that, if the information is small enough and urgent.
Okay.
Okay. The other things that you learn about here is that they do manufacture tools and gears and things useful for machine production, as well as gnomish blunderbusses, arquebuses, and wheel-lock pistols.
How much for a wheel lock?
750 gold pieces.
Paid.
Okay. They do not have a stock of smoke powder, however.
Okay.
Because the GIF are paid in that. The GIF are their security. There's a lot of GIF around.
Question.
Okay.
Yes, Solas.
I'm thinking there's not, but is there any seekers here?
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
Other than GIF and gnomes, there are very few other permanent residents who are not GIF and gnomes. There's a few dwarves.
Okay.
A small shrine of Dugmar and Brightmantle. Other than that, not much. There's transient people, like there's at least a half a dozen other ships in port right now, because again, this is a great place to purchase, tools and machined goods and things like that, things that are necessary for machining.
Can I get an arquebus here?
Sure.
Okay.
I will have to look up the price of that. Give me a second.
Yep.
I think that might be 1,000.
That's essentially like a rifle or a shotgun kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's a long gun.
Yep.
Basically, so it's a hand match, which means that you hold it up to your shoulder and you touch a match to the firing pan, and it fires.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give me a second. I will find that in just a second. That is 500 gold pieces.
Oh, okay. Yep. Thanks.
Arquebuses are basically a little bit more primitive than wheel locks.
I'm gonna die ingloriously at some point by blowing myself up with my gun.
Higamus would be proud.
Yeah, arquebus were a gun type that Higamus actually didn't like, but I took that just to be a little different.
Yeah. It does make a big boom, so it can be nice.
I was trying to persuade. Go on.
But it also comes with the risk of it blowing up in my face.
I may have I do slightly different rules for I'm more drawing rules from combat and tactics. I'll get both of you guys after the game the specifics on how I'm doing it. It does mean that wheel lock pistols are a lot better than they are in the main book.
Oh, okay.
Because they do 1d8 rather than 1d4 damage. But go ahead, Braxon.
I was trying to persuade all to let Higamus invent a knock gun, but he wasn't interested. Nope. But there's such an insane gun. I thought it'd be fantastic. It's like literally they strapped 7 guns together, and they made it so that when you fire it, it fires all 7 barrels at once. So it takes forever to load it.
Yep.
And it used to break people's shoulders when they fired it.
But how about have the gnomes designed duck's foot?
No.
It's a gun that shoots 3 muskets at the same time.
No, they have not. They one of the main reasons that they manufacture them is because the GIF like them. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they want to do around port while spellcasters are getting rest and gaining new spells and things like that?
Braxon will go with the gnomes we rescued to attend any sort of memorial service for the gnomes that were murdered.
Okay. It is a loud and solemn but boisterous affair. A lot of gnomes talking at once.
Okay.
They deal with it just fine. You, however, not so much.
Well, he speaks Tinkano.
Yes, but you
can.
You can't speak and listen at the same time like they can.
No. He can listen to one of them while the others are talking all over them.
All right. So for the Speak with Dead spells.
All right.
There is one other thing Braxon do. We don't have to do it right now. He'd want to have a meeting with that GIF and get a rundown of the pirates that have been attacking their base.
Oh, actually, yeah. So the capturing this ship will get you a reward of 3,000 gold pieces to the group.
Okay. Yeah.
For taking out a pirate, not a known pirate. It's
yeah.
just obviously a pirate, or at least someone operating under the standards of piracy. Even if they're not officially a pirate.
Obviously bringing in a bunch of gnomes that were being enslaved on the ship kind of proves it's a pirate.
Yeah. You did not recover any useful cargo. It was just a lot of food and water. Like they had stocks to keep them going for quite a while.
Question, by the way.
Yeah.
What were the gnomes shipping that were captured?
So they were shipping finished tools and stuff like that, and it's very clear that the kobolds had no interest in that cargo. So that's why they're not they weren't operating as pirates.
But clearly operating as hostile.
Yeah. But operating but it's still covered by the same kind of thing because obviously they attacked a gnomish vessel and took crew as prisoners.
I've got one more last ditch attempt to get some information out of you via weird methods. Could anyone in our crew with cooking skills work out how old the food supplies are? Assuming they're not stolen from all the gnome ships they've been attacking.
A lot of it is stolen. What there is all the dry stuff. It's really hard to tell exactly how old it is.
Okay.
So no. But it's enough to tell that they were not expecting to have easy access to supplies here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've clutched at every straw yet.
Okay.
I think you have done a pretty good job on that.
Definitely. You definitely have. All right. Lafdul, who do you want to cast Speak with Dead on first? Lafdul? Are you muted? You're muted. If you're speaking. Did he say he was stepping away?
Not that I see.
There was a lot of... Oh, Solas said BRB. Oh, no, he said back.
Yeah, but we are talking about Zakhan and Lafdul.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Lafdul. Poke, Lafdul.
Well, while we are waiting, I did say on the Roll20 chat that I'm memorizing read magic to see the scrolls.
Right, yes.
What they are.
I did see that and then I forgot. All right. So one of them is a wizard scroll, and one of them is a priest scroll, And let me get you that. So you'll have to pray over the priest scroll to figure that out.
Yeah.
I just need to get to them. Give me a second.
I assume the plate armor kobold had the priest scroll.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And the orc had the wizard scroll.
All right. So the priest scroll, you pray over that, and it has invisibility to undead at 12th level.
That's a useful one.
Yeah.
And the wizard scroll had gust of wind at 12th level.
Okay.
It was 9th level, the first one?
12th for both.
Oh, 12th for both, okay.
Yeah,
And it was
I'll paste them in.
Cleric for the invisibility to undead.
Yeah, I just pasted them in.
Finn, what level were you?
When?
Since I'm thinking that you might be the highest level, and so the invisibility to undead might be best in your hands.
Well, I am 10th level, but I have access to that spell on my own.
Yeah, but it's a scroll that we most likely are going to be using on Darkstar. It doesn't have any other spells.
Well, if somebody doesn't have access to that spell, it might be more benefit to them.
True.
Yep.
Also...
Lafdul, do you have access to that spell?
He'd tell you if he existed.
I guess he must have stepped away and didn't say so.
Yeah. I also said that I was planning on identifying the potion and the bullets.
Okay.
So we can handle that also.
Yeah.
I will use the slate for the potion.
You can also use it. I'll let you use the slate for the sling bullets as well. So the clay jar filled with a thick, gritty black liquid is registers as a potion of underground awareness.
Okay. That's an interesting potion.
And the sling bullets, again, because it's just ammunition, it's just, they are sling bullets plus 1.
Okay. Am I and Lankas the only ones that use sling?
I mean, I'm still going to be using it for a bit longer because I don't have gunpowder or smoke powder or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking that we would split the bullets.
That sounds like a good idea.
That's actually pretty fair.
Yeah, since both of us use the sling and they are all the same kind of bullets.
Well, the other question would be, like, how many +1 sling bullets do each of you have right now?
Oh, are they +1?
Yeah, they're +1.
Oh, I have 0.
I have 5, so I'm willing to give... he can get 6 and I can get 1, so each of us has 6.
There's 9. So you'd get...
So 7 and 2, and
3.
you both have 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was 9. Okay, then both have 7 plus 1 sling bullets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I'd say good split.
Yeah, that's very good.
Let me make that note.
Because if either of you's busy, it means the other one's got them. And if you're both free, you can both use them at the same time.
Also, I would say that even if when you do get the ammo for and smoke powder for your gun, you still might want to keep the sling as a backup.
Yeah, magical stuff. Well, yeah. Also, like, you know, magical bullet or magical sling bullets are useful.
And they're
Also,
more common. They're more common than magical shot for smoke powder weapons.
Yeah.
They'll also be more useful in the phlogiston.
And you can reuse them.
Well, I mean, what if you want to have your weapon blow up in your face?
Also, you can reuse the sling bullets. As long as they don't break.
It's more as long as you you don't lose them, because they don't.
Yeah, that's
break.
why I have detect magic pretty much always on me.
Why don't you put like continual light on them?
They are already magic, so
Okay.
Can you not put continual light on a magic item?
You can,
Okay.
yeah,
but it does also mean that now your weapons are glowing like the sun every time you use
yeah,
them.
you would basically potentially blind yourself for occasionally when you are trying to use
That
the
would
sling.
be very
That's
hard.
already
That
a
would be very
problem
hard
with how
to
my
use.
axe is on fire almost all the time.
Okay, let me move some of these things around
I can't
on my
wait for my
notes.
paladin sword to I can't wait for my paladin sword to shine like the blinding sun whenever I draw it.
And we've just invented the D&D equivalent of tracer ammo.
Well, I'm gonna delete the bullets because I assume you're gonna put that on the list. So I'll just delete those from.
Yeah, I
The
already
sheet.
added two sling bullets from the.
I did too. So
Okay. All right, Lafdul, are you there? Okay.
Must have got disconnected.
No, he must have stepped away.
What?
He must have stepped away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wonder
still.
what came up.
Well-
things happen. Like an emergency may have happened. He may not have been
Yeah.
able to say
Mhm.
something.
We're
Yeah.
near the end of the game, so we could do it at the
Uh,
beginning of the next game, maybe.
Yep.
If he can't get back.
That's fine.
Yeah, we could also give the wizard scroll most likely decide who gets it now.
Yep.
Since I think me and Lankas are the only ones that might have interest in it.
Well, Lafdul can use wizard scrolls.
True.
I heard a noise then. Was that Lafdul coming back?
No.
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 Okay.
I think that was Cape going to the bathroom.
Burbian. Be right back in. Okay.
Burp.
All right. I mean, I guess you two guys can. I mean, has he marked down interest in it? Well, I guess he wasn't here to hear what it had. So.
No. I mean, they've only
I was
just
gonna
gone
say,
on the
nobody's
sheet.
marked down interest on anything yet. So
All right.
Yeah, it's only just gone on the sheet.
I do have access to invisibility to undead if I need, so I don't need that cleric scroll necessarily. But I am interested in Gust of Wind spell since I've already used that spell once from a scroll.
Have we used identify?
I say
on
go
that
ahead and
compass-like
take it.
object?
The compass light thing, Braxon already recognized it as basically a portal locator.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should go onto the hill.
No, not extremely rare item.
And was that medium triangular shield magical?
Oh yeah, that shield.
That is magical, yeah.
Yeah, I would identify
how did
that
I-
since I'm interested
did
in since it comes from my home space.
How did I miss these?
Well, they did just get put on.
I know, but I was just like, I'm trying to be in charge of putting things on the list, so I'm just like,
Yeah, I don't know if that came from the orc, so sorry, I'll put a question mark next to that. That's my
That
fault.
was in his quarters on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was the quarters. That's why I was confused. I thought those were in the stuff on the ship. I didn't think about.
So you wanted to cast Identify on the shield?
Yeah, I would identify it.
Okay. Normal Identify?
Yeah.
Okay. That has a moderate combat bonus.
Okay. Nothing else.
Okay.
So
I think that's
okay.
yeah, it's moderate combat bonus.
I'm
So-
throwing down interest on it to give it to my squire.
Finn already has a decent shield, so he can let that one go.
All right. Well, anyone who's got a +1 shield, this might be a +2 shield.
And I'm not sure who else uses shields.
Lafdul
does
does.
sometimes, I think.
occasionally.
Yeah, Lafdul does.
I think Braxon's got a shield, but he hardly ever uses it.
Well,
The problem is-
you're trained for single weapon style, so.
Yeah, exactly.
The heraldry of the shield was not from Solas's home nation.
Not from the home nation, no.
Yeah.
But it is from
if it had been
your home
yeah.
sphere.
Yeah, if it had been from Solas's home nation, Solas would have been interested in it in a case of returning it. But since it's not from his nation, he is not going to put interest in it.
Well, it's also, I mean, like, it would also be old. It wouldn't necessarily be from a, like, even if it was from your home nation,
True.
like, the family might not even exist anymore, kind of thing.
True, but if the family existed, it might be quite a goodwill gesture between the families. Since Solas' family is a merchant family,
Could be.
but since it's not from the home nation,
Can
he's
you
not
use-
interested in it.
Can you use one of those spells where you look back in time to work out who would own it?
That kind of thing you basically need
I would
legend
have-
lore for.
Yeah, I would have to have legend lore, and that's quite a high-level spell.
Okay, fair enough.
Or have a bard in the party.
Yeah.
Man, I miss when we had a bard.
Yeah.
Well, it is 6th level spell, so I could get the legend lore potentially next level. But to get to next level is going to take some while for my mage.
Okay.
Also, the casting time for the legend lore is it's some time.
I mean, it's not a combat spell, so.
Definitely not. Definitely not even for a 1-day spell.
I was actually thinking the compass was of interest to me.
Well, that's a ship item, basically.
Oh, it's
so,
a ship
yeah.
item? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
never
portal
mind.
locator, so it's basically used to locate the portals for the
Got it.
crystal shells.
Yeah, so it's either you
Got
keep it or you sell it, kind of thing. Because you
And
do
I
have an
think
item
we-
that does that for your main ship.
Yeah, I think we should keep it for the hilt.
Yeah. I think if we put that on the hilt, if we were ever on the hilt and something destroys our main ship or steals it, we've still got something to try and chase
Or
after
even,
our main
or
ship.
even if our ship doesn't get destroyed, but the magic item that we use for it gets disabled or destroyed, we still have a backup one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's always good to have backups.
And who knows?
Yep.
Who knows? We might turn into a mercenary company at some point, get another ship.
Aren't we already a mercenary company?
No, I mean having more than one ship. When we've got
Mercenary
our
fleet.
base done, yeah, when we got our base done, we might have people doing stuff. Not now. I mean, when we're higher levels.
Oh yeah, we're basically gonna be the quest givers.
I mean, our company office already does provide a place for people to come and give quests to low-level adventurers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not a big leap from that to
No.
actually having a second ship and doing something bigger.
Yeah, I would think originally we'd have a second ship that like escorts other ships or takes cargo that needs protecting.
All right. Well, so we can do the questioning next time, next session.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give you guys time to think about it and get those ready. Remember, like the wording doesn't have to be super duper precise. They like I say that, but also, you know, they will also be extremely pedantic about their answers if they do not want to work with you. However, like, if I can find a way to not give you the answer, and I don't want to give you the answer, I'm gonna find a way to not give you the answer, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
like,
I know.
Even if
that's-
even if we worded it as best as possible.
That's kind of what I'm getting at by the
Yeah.
you know, don't dwell too much on the wording, because like again,
Yeah.
these are like either there's information I want you to have, or there's information you can't get. Like, that's basically what these, what it boils down to. So if there's information you can't get, it doesn't matter what you ask, because you're not going to get the information.
Yeah, I'm fully figuring that this is a long shot, and I thought when I said what I said,
actually.
Well, I thought either you're going to give us another little mini quest that we can do, or you're going to say it's impossible for us to find this place. Yeah.
Basically, either the spell works and you get the information that I am going to give you, that I can get,
Yeah.
that you can get, or it doesn't work and you don't get any information. So, like, that's basically what it boils down to. That's why I'm saying don't dwell too much on the questions, because if the spell works, you're going to get the information that the dungeon master is willing to give you out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you are playing against us,
Right.
since this is basically group storytelling, theater of the mind kind of thing.
Right. And I'm not trying to trick anyone. I'm not trying to. I mean, like the monsters might try to trick you, but I, the dungeon master, am not. So you either get the information that. But that's just what I'm saying by of don't dwell too much on trying to get the perfect question, because there isn't a perfect question.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
So
no,
it's not like we're playing Paranoia, where the point of the game is that the players are trying to screw each other over.
Right. Yeah.
Also, our characters would word the questions differently in all cases.
No, I'm just thinking back from before when we had the Scouter Discover adventure, and I thought about going to an underwriter, and you created a new NPC, and I'm like, maybe you will do something, or maybe it won't be possible. And if it's not possible, we sell the ship for scrap and we move on.
Right. I mean, like, you might get like, a question could surprise me in that, like, oh, I hadn't thought of this. This is good information that you can get out of this that I want you to have. But you're not going to be like, it's not a situation of, aha, I asked the dungeon master the perfect question, and now they have to give me this information. It's in the rules, kind of thing. That doesn't exist.
Isn't this one where like there's two guys, and one room's got unlimited hand behind it, and the other one kills you, and one dungeon master always lies, and the other one always tells the truth.
What?
It's a stupid logic puzzle thing that they give to people.
Yeah, the logic puzzle of the two doorways. One always lies, one always tells the truth, kind of thing. All right.
Yeah.
And you can only ask them one question. I think that's how.
I like the barbarian solution to that.
Of kill them both and tear both doors off.
No, kill one of them, then ask if that was the one that told lies.
All right. So, we'll go ahead and do some experience points. So,
okay, but the problem is, if they say yes, you're stuck, because are they saying yes because they were lying that it was the person, or are they saying yes because that really was the person that was telling lies? There's a problem with that lie.
Oh, that's right. It was you ask if the guard you killed is dead.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how you get it.
Okay, so experience points wise, that is going to be 541. I'm sorry, 541 for Finn and Lafdul. And for Braxon, Ockar, and Darrakar, 621. Solas, 541 plus 50 for your wizard.
Okay.
Lankas, because you're a multi-class character, you're now getting into the fun times of crazy numbers. 541 plus 270 for your thief, and 100 for your illusionist.
I love how he got that 200 XP because he successfully did his first ever backstab.
No, he
Second ever backstab,
Second
but my first backstab kill.
Yeah. Second backstab kill. And for Loire and Ingritha, that is going to be 270.
That backstab was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty great.
That was a
It was
successful
pretty
move
nice.
silently as well, so. Very, very nice. All right. But that is going to be where we wrap it up this time. When we come back next week, the party has some dead questions to ask, and then they will be off to a place of death. Yay! My favorite.
Indeed.
Finally, I've been waiting to die.
Well, don't worry. If you do die, you'll get to live on in an unliving form. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess
Wait,
so.
Is that how I become a blackguard?
No, blackguards in later editions are like the anti-paladin.
I thought they were in second edition.
No, they're not.
No,
No.
Death Knight
Death Knights
or
are.
Skeleton
Oh,
Warrior.
so that's how I become a Death Knight.
Well, probably not. You need to do something to become a Death Knight.
True.
Like, that
I'm
is not
mainly
something
joking.
that someone cannot turn a dead paladin into a Death Knight.
Well, that's a
True.
good thing.
Otherwise,
you
there would be a lot more
basically-
Death Knights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you basically have to fall from grace.
All right. So when we come back next time, that's what the party has waiting for them. But that will be then. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. I want to thank you guys for playing. It has been a lot of fun. We will be back next week. See
Thanks
you then,
for the
everyone.
game.
Thanks for the game.
Thank you for the
Thanks
game.
for the game.
Thanks for the game.
Really enjoyed today.
See ya.